Okay, let me try to make that practical, and I'm going to put it into my words, but that's very Kabbalistic, but let me just try to make it real for us in terms of our life, okay? There's the most famous theological question in the world, number one, among all faiths, is why do the righteous suffer? That's question number one. You know? I'll tell you a fancy word just in case anyone's in 11th grade studying for their SATs, because I know that's most of the room, right? Theodicy. Theodicy means the study of why do the righteous suffer. Okay? You can show off to your cat. So I heard one answer from a really incredible rabbi who died young. And I was listening to his shirim, and he never mentions anything about that he was ill, and really amazing. So I heard this from someone who really was living through this. And he said, one of the reasons why the righteous suffer is to show other people how to get through painful periods. To teach other people by the way you're able to do it that they can do it too. In other words, some people, one answer is, why do the righteous suffer? So one answer is, who says they're righteous? And who says that's suffering? Meaning to say, good is going to come from it in the end, so, take it or leave it. But he's not saying that. He's not saying that. He's saying they really are righteous and they really are blameless, but they're given this opportunity to show other people, to teach other people how to go through life and how to withstand challenge and hardship and pain, and to get through difficult periods. So what does it mean that Yaakov Avinu, going back to Avraham HaMalach now, is that he's on the bottom in Egypt, and that he's sending up the Yud, and that the Yud is wisdom, and that he's enlightening all the Sfirot, the 7 and the 10. Because, if you look at the tzaddikim, a lot of us, they're such role models. But why are they role models? And I don't know that you can name one, if you actually look at their life, that didn't have an extraordinarily difficult life. And when you actually look at their life, like David HaMelech, his son tried to kill him. I mean, you think this is like the neshama of Mashiach? Are you kidding me? His son tried to kill him? And everyone thought that he was like a Russia. What is this with you and Bathsheba? Meanwhile, the Gemara says anyone who says that David HaMelech sinned is wrong. The Gemara says that. Anyone who says that David HaMelech sinned is wrong. And yet the entire generation, for the most part, thought that he's, I tell you something crazy. It's not all that well known, but you might be familiar with it. People thought Moshe Rabbeinu was sleeping with their wives. That is not a new Torah. That's an old Torah. Rashi brings it. And Rashi was probably bringing it from a much earlier source, probably from the Medrash. People thought that's one of the reasons why Moshe moved his tent so far away from the rest of the camp. Can you imagine you're Moshe Rabbeinu and people are looking like, oh, yeah, I know what you're up to. I mean, really? He can't even remove himself from that low level of suspicion? So the righteous, all of the righteous are so iconic and they're so inspiring precisely because they went through challenges. So I'll just finish up by saying that that's the idea that Yaakov is from this lowest place in Egypt. The Ekev is sending the Yud up. At the end of Yaakov's life, which was filled with such difficulty, he has to steal the bracha. He has to flee from his brother. He's working for this guy who wants to kill him and his family. His sons hate each other. He's suffering and mourning for forever and loses his Ruach HaKodesh in prophecy. But he gets through it in one piece. And he shows us that we can get through it in one piece. And I would just say to you, just in a very clear way, if you're going through any struggle, God is giving you an opportunity to be great. And God is giving you an opportunity to inspire other people by handling it with grace, And that it's not personal. It's not personal. I heard from Rabbi Orlovsky something that I probably gave like 50 different talks on this one point. Not exaggerating. Avraham Avinu, who's more righteous than Avraham Avinu? God tells Avraham Avinu, pick up everything that you've got, go to this land that I'm not even going to tell you where you're going. Just keep on walking. I'll tell you when you get there. That's not so easy. He gets to the land, Israel, and you think, okay, now things are going to be good. And so what does God give him once he gets to the land? How about some famine? Oh, I've got an idea. How about your wife gets kidnapped? Twice. So you say to yourself, what did Abraham do wrong? Well, Abraham didn't do anything wrong. So then why was his life difficult? Because that's this world. That's this world. We face challenges in this world and we bring the light to this world. And we're partners with God in terms of perfecting this world. This world isn't finished yet. We're in the process of creating a perfect world with God through the Torah and the mitzvahs by overcoming difficulties. And so I think that story about Abraham is great because Abraham didn't do anything wrong and he still had hardships. So that means it's not personal. These are opportunities.